What is up, world? What's going on with everybody out there? Hope you all are beautiful, blessed, great people. You feeling as good as I am, especially if you up this early on a Sunday. Shout out to you. And this live is gonna cap off the week. Cap off the week. And what's the real goal of life, right? What's the real goal of life? I think everybody is striving to have peace in life. You want to be at peace of mind. You want to be at peace with your decisions. You want to be at peace with your finances. You want to be at peace with your situations, your circumstances. You want to be at peace with life. You want to be at peace with people, with yourself, right? You want inner peace. Well, how do you go about getting inner peace? How do you go about getting inner peace? Real question, right? Because a lot of us don't even ask that. Like, we just want to solve a problem. Why do you want to solve this problem? To get back to a peaceful state, right? And peace does not equate to comfort because we know everything grows outside of the comfort zone. So, peace does not equate to comfort, but peace is just free of mind, like free of tension. How do you go about gaining peace? Because we know with life still gonna be lifing, but to be at peace with it, that's different. You move different. You think different. You're not stressing. Hello? To be at peace. It's not that there's no challenges, there's no problems. It's not that there isn't anything that you have to do. You know what I'm saying? It ain't that your ability, but to be at peace. Huh? To be at peace means that yes, you're gonna go through some things, but hey, I'm good. I'm so good. So how do you go about gaining peace? There we go. Gotta get myself together over here. Technology, man. Getting that peace with that. So, real question, and I want you all to answer in the chat. I want you to put it in the comments. How do you gain peace in your life? How do you know that you're not at peace? What does that look like? Right? It could get crazy. But in the midst of the chaos, you still need what? Peace. The outer world should be in chaos, but when you come home, it should be what? Peace. It should be peace amongst people. It should be peace, man. It should be peace. It should be peace. So most people, when it comes to peace, right? When I ask this, because I actually ask these types of questions in real life. Like I talk to people, right? Can't have community without communication. So I actually talk to people and ask these types of questions. I want to get your mind jogging. I want to see what you I want to hear the answer. Like I want to hear, what do you do? I want to know the answers to these questions. It's not just me nitpicking. No, I'm seriously, like, I'm always a student of life. We're always improving the mind. I mean, we're always looking and willing to learn. So I'm thrilled to gain perspective. I'm thrilled to gain the perspective. So I ask these things in real life. How do you go about getting peace? And the main response I get is isolation. You know, it's very peaceful when you're by yourself and not with anybody else. Don't have to deal with nobody else's problems, no gossip, you know, no interaction. Can't blame nobody for nothing, right? But here's the thing, that's not peace. It could be a peaceful moment to be able to get away, to declutter, defog that mind of yours, spend time with yourself. I highly encourage it. Highly encourage it. But if you stay in isolation, you could start to spiral. You could start to spiral. Most people who are in a depressive state of mind, it was built in isolation. It was built through the repetitive thoughts, and the mind is the monster of mind. Excuse me. The mind is the victim to the monster of repetition. It's still early. The mind is the monster. Ah, did it again. The mind is the victim to the monster of repetition. So at some point in your thoughts usually start off like, "I'm good. I ain't have to deal with nothing." And somehow it turns into nobody wants to be around me. Nobody wants to deal with me. And after repeatedly thinking and going in that downward spiral, you don't even want to be with you, to the point where somebody would want to be around you and you don't believe it because you don't want to be with you. You done been with you enough. That's usually something along that line is what happens. Or what'll happen is, right, what would happen is you'll get so stuck in your thoughts that you think that only what you think is right, when that's not true either. So that's why I love gaining the perspective of others. It's not to see how right I am, but it's to see literally what are the other thoughts? What what is another perspective on what I just thought about? I would use my own discernment for my own interpretation, for my own self, for my own life, and have that align. But I do want to learn. I do want to see what other perspectives there are. So I ask questions like, how do you go about getting peace in your life? And if it's just isolation, I tell people all the time, like, isolation is a good thing. You need it. You need to spend time with yourself, but you cannot stay there. We are humans. You are made for interaction. We rely on one another for everything. We rely on the earth for everything, right? So isolation isn't cool, man. You don't want to go up in them caves, huh? Somebody will get that. But yes, um, for a moment, but don't stay there in isolation. It's not it's not it's peace inducing, and like you should have it, but it shouldn't stay there. Then that's when it becomes a problem. It becomes an issue. So how do you go about gaining peace? The next synonymous answer is separate from people. Separate, which is isolation. Separate from people, separate from toxic people, you know, Just get away from people, cut people off, cut people off, cut people off. I hear that so often. I see that so often where you can have a disagreement and people are so quick, I'm just gonna cut you off. You didn't give that person a chance. You didn't give that person the opportunity to explain themselves. You don't know if what they did was intentional, you know. And if it is that person showing their true colors and it doesn't align with you, I understand. But just to like as soon as like anything, any type of disagreement, you're willing to cut somebody off, you cutting everybody off, and then it turns into, years later, it turns into, I don't have no friends. Don't nobody rock with me that much. That's not the truth. A lot of people will rock with you, but you cutting everybody off. Downward spiral, isolation. Is that really peace? It gets to the point where the world is wrong. Everything everybody else thinks wrong. Hmm. Is that really peace? Then you go, start looking for people that think like you within your isolation, and you don't want to hear other perspectives. So then misery loves company, right? So you're never gaining the full perspective. You're never seeing the two sides of the story to actually have proper discernment on what you feel. Do you even analyze your experiences? Is this peaceful? I think not. I think not. I already got my shine on today. I had to put my shine on early today and reset. I got some detox juice. This is cocoa juice. I didn't say I was going to promote anything, but I could promote this. I stand behind this. It's a great business. To thecocoajuice.com. Get you an all natural detox, flush out those toxins, and get right. Tastes good too. So, yes, I have found the recipe for a truly peaceful life. Stick with me, fellas. Stick with me, people. I have found the recipe for peace, and I have found it in a book. This book is called The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. A personal guide, a practical guide to personal freedom, right? And it's like perfect. I read this book. I was like, yo, this is dope. I couldn't put it down. This is one of those books I read in a day. This is also one of those books that are in my top five. I did the top three annually, but when I was thinking about like what other books, this should have been in my top three. But definitely an annual read. The Four Agreements. If you haven't read it, please go get it. It's a small book. It's a simple read, and it makes so much clear-cut sense that there is no negotiation about it. Like, so let's get into it. There are four things that you have to practice and keep about you and understand to have peace in your life. It's personal freedom, right? The first agreement, the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. What did I tell y'all earlier this week? Matter of fact, I think it was just yesterday. Change your wording and you change your life. Words are magic. That's why the written word is called spelling. That's why you speak things into existence because words hold power. Words are part of creation, right? This is why you can't have community without communication. If we worked more on communication, then we wouldn't be so sensitive and we wouldn't be so insulting at the same time. We'll be more understanding, more empathetic, we'll be more willing, more trustful, more trustworthy, loving, generous, kind, all of the things if we improved our communication. So the first agreement is be impeccable with your word. It says, speak with integrity. Say only what you mean. Avoid using the word to speak against yourself or to gossip about others. Remember when I told y'all I challenged myself to not complain and to not talk about anything negative? This is when I did that. I read this book. It says, use the power of your word in the direction of truth and love. Of truth and love. Another thing I had told y'all is realists have a pessimistic point of view. They say the truth hurts, right? And it does. It can, but it doesn't have to. This realist point of view is usually pessimistic because they wind up saying stuff like, they focus on, well, reality is, if somebody come at you with reality is, well, the truth is usually nothing good. You know, they don't come at you. The truth is, and it's something wonderful. Is there's unconditional love out here. Truth is, you can literally be anything you want to. Truth is, your perspective is your outlook on life. Change the way you view things, and the things you view change. They're not coming at you with that. His truth is, nobody really succeeds. Truth is, you're gonna die one day. Truth is, nothing even matters. Truth is, don't nobody make that type of money for real. Mm, that's your truth. If any one thing actually happened, then it's not true, right? Truth is, don't nobody make that type of money. Somebody made that type of money. So truth is, mm, you actually can't. Be impeccable with your word. Use your wording for good stuff. Speak prosperity and progression. Change your wording. I didn't fail. I just didn't win yet. That gets me every time. Excuse me. That gets me every time. That's the first one. And it's not like a step by step, it's just a collection of things to do. Okay. The second thing, the second agreement, and this is a big one. All of them are, but this is a big one. Don't take anything personally. Hmm. Don't take anything personally. Oh, it's personal. I know. It happened to you. I know. It says nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own. You know how many people project their thoughts onto me? You know how many people title me, label me? I'm so many names, good and bad. I actually started to crack from the pressure of being good. You know, I'm the middle child, but I'm the best child. That's because I ain't got no I'm not showing you my problems. So it's easy for you to say, "Hey, this child is good. I'm the best child." It's cringe. Don't take it personal, bro. You know, what others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. It's their perspective. I could drop something that was heavy. Somebody hears it and yells at me and say, "Why you slam that?" I didn't slam it, I dropped it. Do I get upset because they yelled at me because they think that it's the perspective. It's what somebody else is projecting onto you. You're a liar. Hmm? You're lazy. You're all of these things. You're a bad person. You're not a man. That one hit for real. You're a man. Who are you to tell? Don't take it personal. Ah, in this generation with the memes and stuff, everybody has made it common to like say some rude ass shit and then just be like, I don't know. I'm just saying. It's just, you know. Like, I take it back. I don't take it back, but I take it back. I mean, that's just, you know, don't take it personal, bro. Oh man. I've been under all types of scrutiny everywhere I go. If I took it personal, I'd probably commit suicide. But don't take anything personally. Say nothing others do is because of you. What others say and do is a projection of their own reality, their own dream. When you are immune to the opinions and actions of others, you won't be the victim to needless suffering. Dog, I'm about to read this. I will read this book right here online. This is just the prompts. I'm not even in the book yet. This is this. I didn't even get to the content page of this book. Huh? Wow. Okay, let's go. Let's go. The third agreement, and the one that I think I struggle with the most, the third agreement is don't make assumptions, any assumptions. And I think we all struggle with that because that's a basic instinct, a basic necessity of life is like you're gonna judge by the cover, right? You're gonna go off of the first impression. You're gonna be observative to see if this is something to be protected from, something to be frightful of, something to indulge in. Is it okay? Is it safe? You're going to be observative, so you're going to judge, so you're going to make some type of assumption. But try not to make assumptions. It says, find the courage to ask questions. What did I just say in the beginning? I talk to people. I don't even make the assumption that I'm right because I've had the thought. All the thoughts that you have are not the right thoughts. They're not the truth. Just like how somebody else's, you know, I dropped it. Somebody else say I slammed it. That's what they perceive as the truth. That was right to them. It was wrong. It's not what actually happened, but that was right to them. Huh? Small example makes a big difference, right? And that's why I talk to people. I don't even assume that I'm right. I have the thought, I'm intrigued by the thought, and I put it out there. I need to see the result, right? Find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. There will be so many more healthy relationships if we did this. I had one older guy I was talking to. He's been divorced a couple times, right? He's celibate. He would love to have a true partner, a great woman who just accepts him for who he is, supports him, loves him. He would love that. Of course, he's into the idea of marriage. He's gotten married a couple times, right? Didn't work. And it wasn't because he wasn't actively working on it. I talked to this guy. It wasn't because it wasn't what he actively wasn't working on it. And one of the things that he said that was so profound to me was, "I'm just tired of pretending." You got two people pretending to be something that the other person expects or seems to expect them to be. So you have two people making an assumption of what the other person wants and delivering on that, living a lie. When in actuality, you being you is what attracted the person. You should still be you with the person. Yeah, I understand compromise and all of that stuff, but you should still be you. You shouldn't be living a lie to appease somebody else. And it's always the small things, the small things that build up over time. It's small things that build up over time, right? The detox working. It's small things that build up over time. Whereas, had you not made the assumption, like we all want to know our partner. We want to know who the person is beside us. We want to know, and feel as though we know how they think, we know how they act, we know what they need, when they need it. Let me just do it. It's on autopilot. That's stressful. Not everybody needs what you think they need at the time that they need it. Take the stress out of it, take the assumption away, and ask, "Are you okay? Do you need anything? No? You sure?" I know that gets annoying, but honestly, if you need anything, I want to provide for you. Whatever it is that you need, let me know. And if you give me an honest answer, I will give that to you out of love. And that's the truth. So instead of assuming what that person needed, because I'm gonna tell you for the male man, it always comes down to money. You need more. You want to go shopping? We need groceries. You got the roof over your head and bills to pay. You want a better car? You need to be prepared for any security measure, any, you know, maintenance, anything. And that's all true. But that's not the only thing that someone will need from you. I'm not going to make the assumption that all you need is money. What you need? You need some time. I got you. Got you. Thank you for letting me know. Now I could give you some time without feeling like I'm taking away what I'm supposed to be doing for you. Right? Don't make assumptions. It says find the courage to ask questions and to express what you really want. Communicate with others as clearly as you can to avoid misunderstandings, sadness, and drama. With just this one agreement, you can completely transform your life. Now, I said that this might be the one that I struggle with the most because I've talked to a lot of people, I've gained a lot of perspectives, and a lot of things add up. It's really there's a plethora of emotions, but there are really is really a narrow course of thinking, right? According to the situation. But there's really a narrow course of thinking. And I know this. And it's like the curse of knowledge. I know this, I've experienced this enough, and I've assumed enough accurately that I'm confident in my assumptions. Right? So I do this almost automatically, like everybody else. I'll make the assumption and make the correction later. I'll make the assumption and make the correction later, you know? And for me, it's usually the other way around where I'm the giver. So I'll give something to somebody and they like, oh, I don't need that. And then I'm like, well, what you need? When I could have just said, what you need and gave them instead of going out my way, the first time, making you needed water when you needed food, right? Small things, simple things, but this is the biggest one for me is don't make assumptions. I can't stand when somebody else makes an assumption about me. And what I tell people is, well, look, I'm an asshole, right? So what I tell people is, you cannot fathom how I think. We don't think the same. So for you to make an assumption about me or to try to think about what I'm thinking, because that's what that assumption is, and we're not mind readers, for you to try to think what I'm thinking, one, you're projecting what your thoughts are onto me, and you're belittling me by thinking that I think like you. You think I think like you, and that's just disrespectful. Right? Somebody makes an assumption about me, I'm usually like, where did you get that from? Right? Like I'm not even that type of person. Like, no, no. You probably should get to know me more before you make an assumption about me. But don't make assumptions. That's the third agreement, right? And the fourth agreement, the final agreement, seems slight, but if you did this honestly and truthfully, then you will be at peace. If you did this honestly and truthfully, you will be at peace. The fourth agreement is always do your best. You know, you write that on the board in third grade or whatever, but it's real. Always do your best. It says your best is going to change from moment to moment. That's what we need to understand. Your best is going to change from moment to moment. It will be different when you are healthy as opposed to sick, right? But under any circumstance, simply do your best and you will avoid self judgment, self abuse, and regret. If you gave it your all, right? If you gave it your honest all, then you can't say, I didn't. You can't say I didn't try. I didn't I didn't put forth full effort. Always do your best. And it'd be crazy because I'd be like, yo, somebody'd be like, that's all I need. Or this, like, I'm at work, this my assignment. And I'm like, I could do more. And if I can, I should. It feels good to do all of what I can. Now, don't get that mixed with like giving your all into a situation or to a person that is not beneficial for you, you know. But even if you do, even if you do, even if you give your all to someone or something that is not appreciative, right? It's okay. Everything you do, you're sowing. You're sowing seeds. You're sowing seeds and you're going to reap the harvest that you sow. So you might not get the appreciation right away. If you give your all to a relationship and that person didn't see you, didn't value you, at the end of the day, chose somebody else, it's okay. Eventually, you'll find someone who does appreciate all your effort, all you do. Don't belittle yourself by not giving it your all because of what somebody else can't appreciate, can't see in you. Don't limit yourself because of other people's limitations. That's what always doing your best looks like. Sure, somebody else may not be able to fully appreciate it. You can give your best, and somebody could say that's not enough. Hurts. I know. But if you give your best, the next time you get better, you get accustomed to doing your best, giving it your all, and then you could put it somewhere else and just like glad through life. Do the hard things first. Everything else will be easy. Type of mentality. So this collection of things, these four agreements, is the recipe for peace. Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions and always do your best. If you do those four things and they are a forever practice, if you do those four things, I promise you peace. And I practiced it myself. I love this book, The Four Agreements by Don Miguel Ruiz. Please check that book out. I'm about to read it now because wow, that's just the behind the front cover. That's not the book. That's just behind the front cover. And it's amazing. Be impeccable with your word. You can't have community without communication, right? Be impeccable with your word. Don't take anything personally, even if it's personal. Don't take it personally, right? Don't attach that to your self image. Don't make assumptions, good or bad. I assumed that person was going to be a great person. They actually an asshole. Hmm. I assumed you was quiet. You was quiet because you was learning your surroundings. You actually talk too much. I assumed, I assumed that this was going to work. It didn't. The assumption is where the stress comes in. The expectation is where the stress comes in. When things don't meet the expectation, meet your expectation, that's when you become stressed. I expected to be in a different place by now. I expected to be making more money on vacation. I expected you to respect me. I expected you to love me the way I need to be loved. I expected to get that opportunity. Expect nothing, accept everything, right? Don't make assumptions and always, always do your best. Even if your best is at like 40%, give the whole 40. If that's all you got to give the whole 40. Empty out your tank. It'll refill. It'll get bigger and you'll have more to give, right? So those are the practices, the recipe for personal freedom and peace in life. Peace of mind. This is your man Trayvon Pratt with AIM, always improving the man. Thank you all for being here. It's been a full week, right? It's been a full week. But if you want peace, catch the replay of this, and we'll continue to go live for the rest of this month every day. Please put in the comments, reach out to me on the social medias. You can find me everywhere at AIM, always improving the mind. I will respond. Any inquiries, right? Any topics that I should cover, anything that you want to hear about, anything you would like to talk about, you can come on here as well. Join me live, right? Let me know, and I'll keep coming with the gems, man. These are all things that I had to learn. These are all my experiences. So I'm giving them to you as they come. I'm a work in progress too. Allah. And with that being said, man, much love, and I wish you peace. My computer being slow.